Hi everyone, welcome to my part 3 series. This is regarding how to install the Informatica MDM 10HF2 on Windows. So we already looked at it in my part 1 series. We have identified the right Informatica MDM version, as well as we also identified all the pre-request softwares in order to install the MDM. Then the part 2 we have installed an Oracle GB, as well as we have also created the schema. In the part 3 all we are going to do is we are going to install the JBOSS as well as the hub console. So as you previously told you guys earlier, I have downloaded all the necessary softwares. I'm going to install the JBOSS EAP Enterprise Applications Platform. So choose your language, whatever the preferred language. In this case we have chosen as in English. Click next. We are going to choose the one specific directory, MDM10, and I'm going to keep it standard directory for this. It's going to ask you to enter. Click continue, then enter your password, because here you make sure that you have an alphanumeric, and otherwise JBOSS is not going to agree. It's going to allow you to enter different kinds of a password. So once you do that, would you like to also install? I would like to say yes, because if you like to do that, you can also install. I'm going to skip the Maven repository setup, and once it has been done, I'm going to use the default port bindings for the standalone and domain no modes, and choose the server startup mode. I'm going to say that standalone mode is an always. Configure the logging levels. I'm going to make it as a no right now. So what's going to do with this, it is going to install the JBOSS over here. Once it is coming up, and there are two important stuff we need to do as a part of like 6.1 as well as 6.2. There are some specific files is missing from the JBOSS file. So that is why if you look at it, there is a JBOSS CLI client, JBOSS client. These two files, these two jar files are required in order to the connectivity work with the different system. Okay, so I'll show you where you can get it. In this case, I'm going to make some additional post configurations. I'm going to say yes. Perform additional post install configurations. I'm going to say install JDBC as well as install my data source. I'm going to say that like this is our Oracle, and the driver locations where exactly it is there. The driver you should be able to I do have that MDM Informatica software library. This is an Oracle JDBC driver. This driver you should be able to find out from you should be able to download from Oracle website, and here I'm going to call it Oracle data source, and I'm going to say zero security domain. I'm going to say the username and password. I'm going to say CMX system, and it is going to my Oracle host is, I'm going to say the local host, the port is 1521, and the Oracle SID, because remember previously we have installed the MDM. So click next, and the next it is going to install everything, and I'll come back to you guys again when it is when it is completed. If you look at it here, it has been the JBOSS installation has been completed, and I'm going to click next. I'm going to say that for all users I'm going to give this JBOSS platform. Click next, and once it is done, okay, what I'm going to do right now, since it is already been activated, so all we have to do is write, say for example, localhost 90. This is installed at 990 admin. The password it is there. If you look at it here in the profile, in the resource adapters, if you look at it, there is a two data sources. It has been there, Oracle data source as well as XA. It will not be there for Oracle data source. If you look at it here in the connections, I'll try to do the test the connection. So that means JBOSS installed successfully over here. So what I'll do, I'll also quickly bring down the server, and I'm going to start it in the standalone mode. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go into the MDM10 GSEPP2 in the modules in the bin. And this is the one place where you have the, you can shut down and you can start the server. You can, I'm going to say the connect, then I'm going to say the shutdown, because as per the installation guide, and we need to add few other additional stuff, and that is what we are going to perform right now. If you look at the multi-domain edition, in this case, since we are installing JBOSS as an oracle, so if you look at it, hub installation, so as per an installation guide from an Informatica, we need to configure these three properties. The third one is, this is really important, otherwise your Siberian the AR file, it is not going to get deployed. And other than that, if you want to have this is the 3600, I mean, like from changing from values from 300 to 3600, this is your timeout issue. And in addition to also like disabling your security realm, otherwise it is going to interfere with the Oracle, as well as add the following stuff for configuring your ID, configuring JBOSS for IDD. So these are all the stuff we are going to add it. These all these changes, we are some of them we are going to make it in the standalone config.bat, and rest all of it, all the other changes, we are going to make it changes in standalone full XML. Let's go ahead and complete that one too. In the JBoss EBS2, if you go to the bin directory, there is a standalone config. I'm opening it up. So make sure that you are commenting out this I mean, like the one whatever it is recommended by from the installation guide. Let's go ahead and copy these values and put it over here. And similarly, we need to copy these two additional parameters as specified in the document. Copy these parameters. You may be wondering what is this parameters. I mean, like this is your file encoding, this is your like deploying this one, this is your protocol maximum header size. This you will need it when you try to configure Informatica data director. Whenever you try to do the search, there would be a there would be like this is mainly used for the searching against your MDM schema. This would be covered a little bit later. Okay, so once you save this, let's also go ahead and complete the configurations files too. Let's open up the configuration file and make these minor changes. If you go ahead and F5 300, I know where it is, so close and making changes to 3600. And another stuff what you need to do, we have also needed to add the remoting. This is where you would be changing your application realm. Yeah, fine. Change that, just go ahead and remove that. And the next one is what we need to do. We also need to go ahead and search for F5 domain logging, and in the console go ahead and add this is going to cover our stuff. And the other one is we also need to add the handler one, that you can add it under this particular async operations. So once you complete this one, let's go ahead and start the JBoSS application server. Okay, where you can start it, like go to the JBoSS I mean, like under bin directory, go over here this particular folder and change to this particular directory, then copy paste this and run this standalone bit. So now what is happening is we are starting the JBOSS with the standalone full XML mode actually. So now what happened here is now it is being successfully started, and look at is there is any logs or is there isn't any problems over here. And one more thing, please remember that in the bin directory in the client, make sure that you also copy those two important the client files, otherwise your post installation process you may get an error. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy those two libraries, these two guys I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste it to MDM10 JBoss EB2 app client, no bin client, paste it over here. Okay, once you copied it, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to connect shutdown. I know it is not required, but still for safer side I would like to do that. So once it has been, now the server is shut down, now I would like to start it again. Once the server is started up now, the next step what we are going to do while this is coming up, let's go ahead and install the hub console. So we are going to use the hub console and we are going to install install.exe file. We are going to click it and install the Informatica MDM hub. We have already downloaded the software. So what I'm going to do is the HF for Windows, in the Windows directory MRM server. Okay, I'm going to start with the hub install. So what I'm going to do initially is, in order to save the time, I'm going to complete the process in between wherever it is user intervention is required. I'll come back with the record. Otherwise, you can assuming that all it does it like it is processing some additional work within the system. Okay. So in this case, what it is trying to do, it is installing it. So I'm going to put a pause over here. Now, after it's initiated the exe file, it is going to come up with Informatica MDM multi-domain edition, and I'm going to click on English may as an option. So in this case, what we are going to do is, I'm not going to install the platform. I'm not going to install the ActiveOS, that is the BPM. You know, that we can install it a little bit later. Okay, so I'm going to accept is the terms of the license. I'm going to say that is, so let's put this directory, choose MDM10. That's where all of the Informatica stuff it is going to go over there, and it is going to be in the new program group. I'm going to choose the license file location. So this you should be able to get it from Informatica as a part of the Informatica download again. It is going to ask me what is the JBOSS server, and the location would be or computer drive MDM. This is my JBOSS location. Click next. I'm going to use the standalone. This is everything. Oracle 11G2 SID. I'm going to say this is my MDM. The password is CMX system. Click next. I'm going to say no over here. This is, I'm not going to install this, production type, and I'm going to run the script during the installation. Click next. It is going to take a little bit time again. Welcome back again. Now if you look at it here, I have it is been configured and it is saying that it is all done, everything is done. Okay, so installation has been successfully completed. Let's go ahead and quickly review what few 2 or 3 directories we need to go back and check, right, whether it has been installed successfully or not. The first place, as hub support is mentioning, if you look at it over here in the logs, let's look at the post install setup, how it is being done. If you look at it here and deploy, all it says that build is successful, is everything has been installed successfully over here. Okay, and similarly, if you look at the CMX, this particular one, it is saying the license key it is invalid. So I know the reason why it is saying that. So this one is purposely I made this the license key is an invalid. So in case if you guys running into one trouble how to do that, so this I will show you how to do that, this one too. Then the next thing is what I'm going to do, the quickly thing is like in the JBOSS EA app in the standalone there would be a log, server log. If you look at it over here, there is a any error log over here, and you can also check it if there is anything over here. Most of the things it's all warning, 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 warning. So okay, so there are one information I would like to, because purposely I added and I don't want to show my license key. That is the reason why, and behind the scene I went ahead and modified the key, and in order to purposely in order to fail it over there. So assuming that if you guys invalid license key, or if you like to go and upgrade, well, all you need to do is go back and connect the system and shut down it. Once you shut down the system, all you need to do in the Informatica server, wherever you have installed it, under the server there is a license key. Just put your new license over here. Okay, so just if you look at it, just I modified a few minutes back, and my license key over here. That's all you need to do. Then when you come back and restart the server, everything is going to be will be ineffective. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to make it simpler, I'm going to delete all of my original log files. Informatica standalone log. If I look at it, open as a text-pad, Control AC, save this, and MDM10, you go to the Informatica hub server and the logs. If you look at it, this is an install predict post install document logs. So we are not going to do anything here, so it's everything done. So save this, CMX server, even if you look at it here. So Control delete, save this log. So now everything is clear. I am going to start the server one more time to make sure that our stuff is working the way expected. Hopefully, let's play that. It's the Informatica, the CMX module is coming up without any issue. Okay, let's wait. If you look at it, what it does, it like it is does deploying it one by one. In the meantime, you can also check on another information if there is a problem on your installation. You can check this particular specific directory too. So you go to MDM10 JBOSS EAP2 standalone deployments. If you look at it, it is already it is deploying these files actually. Okay, refresh. So once this is getting deployed, then we should be able to access the server. So till then I'm going to put you guys on hold right now. Now if you take a look at it right here, when you are saying it was deploying, now it is being 100% deployed. Make sure that this is all deployed. Otherwise, when you open up, if there is an error, you should be able to see if it is an error that is going to say that, oh, there is a problem on this particular file. Okay, so now let's as we discussed before, let's go ahead and look at it whether it has been installed our Informatica successfully. So localhost, I'm going to say the CMX. Once it comes over here, I'm going to click yes. Click onto this Iberian, this opening this JLNP. Now what I'm going to do right now, okay, it's still working, still it is thinking. Very good. First time admin. Okay. Now if you look at it here, guys, it has been successfully installed and it is asking us to enter the MDM hub master database. Okay, so this shows that like with this method you should be able to install it. So now the few other additional stuff I'm going to do. I am going to do the registering and operational store, right? So in this case, as per our example, I'm going to register two sources. One would be, if you look at the workbench configuration database, nothing isn't available. I'm going to get the right log, pure log. I'm going to add two things is an Oracle. One is service SID. Next, in the database display name, I'm going to say CMX ORS. In this case, that's so make sure that you do have a indicator and you cannot have more than 10 characters, otherwise it's going to fail it. And the local host SID would be MDM 1521 MDM, schema name CMX ORS, CMX underscore ORS. Okay, next. And I'm also making sure that it is also installing the create data source in the JBOSS. Let's go and click it complete. So it is been completed right now. Let's also go ahead and add one more, which is, remember we also registered the MDM sample too. Let's install that sample too. So what I'm going to say is MDM sample rradhakr dot, then the local host MDM. Here I'm going to say the MDM, here MDM underscore sample, MDM underscore sample. Click next, create register database. I'm going to click it's saying that validation store credential authentications failed. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to see what is my MDM underscore sample. Finish. Now it is been registered and everything is being done. So now what happened here is we do have two ORS and it is been configured in the right way. So with this, if you guys look at it right, so without spending so much time, what we have done, if you follow my method, you don't need to spend so much time, and we have very effectively installed the Informatica on the Windows machine. In my next video I'm going to talk about like how to install the process server as well as the resource kit. And if you guys have any questions, any concerns, if you like to add JBOSS later, or if you like to add the process, the independent platform installations, you can add it later. If you guys have any questions, comments, please feel free to give me the comments, or you should be able to contact me through any one of this method as I gave me the contact number before in the earlier slides. You should be able to contact me through this is I'm RK again here, and this is my email address and this is my cell number. You should be able to reach me, and any questions, please feel free to let me know. And once again, thanks for watching this video, and hopefully this would be really helpful. In the next part, I am going to talk about how to install the process server as well as the resource kit installations.